The most important tool in Vasco da Gama is, of course, the planet with the basis map projected onto it. And Vasco da Gama provides us some tools to change the look of our planet, and all those tools are contained here in the Maps section. When I click on it, it opens the Map Selection window, and at the top we see here a little preview window, and above it the selection of the basis map. And when you hear selection, you are quite right, there are several of them, and as you can see, with the standard installation of Vasco da Gama, we have available the Blue Marble map, Classic Earth and Classic Sat. And there are many more maps available from Motion Studios, so if you are interested, just go onto the website and here you find all the information about additional packages. So by default, the Blue Marble is selected, but we can change, for example, to the Classic Sat. I switch here and you see the change is already visible in the preview window, but not in the main work window because we have still not accepted with OK. Below the preview window, we have several additional information that we can turn on or off. The first are the boundaries. These are the country boundaries, and by default they are turned off, and we can turn them on land or on land and sea. I will select on land, and you can see instantly there appeared in the preview window as the red lines here, and of course we can change the color by clicking on the color button. The second option are the city names. When we turn them on, they will appear projected on the basis map. In the preview window you can't see them because they are too small. The default text color is black, and again by clicking on the color button you can change it. The third option are the city lights. They look really awesome in dark areas. You can spot them here in the background in the dark area, and I can tell you, when you have a night scene in your animation, then the city lights look really great. And the fourth option are the mountains, which we can turn on as well. And now I will accept with OK. And now we have a globe that looks like one of those globes we have at home. And when we zoom in, then here you can see the country boundaries and the city names. And this is very helpful because sometimes when we don't have this information, orientation on the map is a little bit difficult because you can't tell whether you are with your mouse still in Germany or already in Austria. And for this reason, sometimes it's useful to turn this information on, and when you don't need it anymore, you turn it off again. And let's make another change. I will change it from land to land and sea, accept with OK. And here you can spot the difference. Now you see the country boundaries on the water as well. So these additional informations are really useful. Boundaries and city names, the city lights and the mountains simply looks great. And now I will switch back to the Blue Marble, and let's turn the boundaries off and the city names as well, and accept with OK. And now we are at the default settings. And now let's go back to the map selection window, and we come to the very exciting part, because here in the lower half of the selection window we have the additional maps selection. And this is really exciting because here we can import our own map material and let Vasco da Gama project it on top of the basis map. So I will give you an example. I will cancel it at this moment, and let's navigate here to the Canary Islands, here near Northwest Africa. So here we have Tenerife and here Gran Canaria. And as I zoom in, you can see that here we have already reached more or less the detail level of the selected basis map, of the Blue Marble map. There are no further details, but I have a satellite view of Gran Canaria in this PNG graphic, and this provides a higher detail level, and I would like to use this graphic in Vasco da Gama. This graphic has a transparent background, so the surrounding white is really transparent. So let's close this and let's import it into Vasco da Gama. Again, we go to the Maps section, and now I click on Import New Map. Here is my graphic. I select it. The file is named GC space 2019 PNG. I open it, and now I'm presented with the path and file name of the map. That's what I have selected right now. If I would like to change it, then I can click on the folder icon and I can select another graphic file. Vasco da Gama automatically has filled in the path to the cache directory. This is where Vasco da Gama will store the individual tiles it will generate from my graphic file. Normally you would leave this path untouched, and the third parameter is the map name for the selection list. So GC 2019 will not look that nice, so I will simply name it Gran Canaria. Now I accept with OK, and Vasco da Gama has inspected my file, and now we are presented with the Adapt the Map window. Since my image of Gran Canaria has no geographic information, Vasco da Gama has no idea where it has to put my image, my map. So I have to place the map manually. And this is what we do in this window. You see, here is my map, my graphic. Way too big at this moment. I have 4 handles in either corner, and the map is transparent. And the transparency level we can adjust with this wheel here in the lower left corner. As well, we can turn on, if we need, the city names and boundaries. And below the work screen, I have here the 4 coordinates of my 4 boundaries. And now, first I will scale down my map, and I will press the Control button while I'm moving one of those handles in the corners, because this will maintain the aspect ratio. So now I move it more or less to the position of the Canary Islands, and now I will use the map zoom in the lower right corner. I will switch from map level 0 to 1, and now to 2. And now I have to move the map in the window, and this I have to do with the right mouse button pressed. So I do it, and so I can move this image, and I move now Gran Canaria to the center of the screen, more or less. And now I can zoom in further. So now we can see a little bit better. Pressing the Control button, I will scale down further my graphic, and I will put it on top of Gran Canaria, moving it to the center and zooming in further. Now we are at map level 5, 6, 7, and 8. And this is the maximum zoom level. And the goal now is to place my map as exactly as possible onto the basis map. And so you see, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult, and you see sometimes you have to do some compromise, because the goal is to cover the basis map, the area on the basis map as exactly as possible. Let's stay it at this position. And now when you are finished with placing your own graphic, then it is a good moment to write down these coordinates. Because when we accept with OK, and later on we find that the position needs a little adjustment, we have to do the whole process again. But when we know the coordinates, we can go directly to this window at the maximum zoom level and then fill in the coordinates, and our graphic will be in the position that we have written down, and we can go on working from there. It simply saves you time. And since we are working on an island and our own graphic is transparent in the surroundings, we don't have the need for an alpha edge. But when you are working with the graphic and onto a country, onto a continent, then you can activate the alpha edge that will make the border of your image semi-transparent, and the size of the alpha area you can adjust with this wheel. So in this case we don't need it, so I deactivate it, and now we press OK, and Vasco da Gama is now generating small map tiles, small individual tiles that are used to speed up the display process. So Vasco da Gama internally is not maintaining one big graphic, but individual small pieces. So we will skip this process so that you don't have to wait. So the import process has finished, and now we still can't see our new imported map because now we have to activate it. Vasco da Gama allows us up to 3 individual maps to be displayed on top of the basis map, and now here in Select Map 1 we will select our Gran Canaria map, and I accept with OK, and now we see here the results. You can see I've not placed my map as exactly as it should. You are seeing here some parts of the basis map underneath. That's the reason why you should note down the coordinates so that you can correct this. But you can see the effect. We have a very high level of details right now. You can see here the south of Gran Canaria, here the dunes of Maspalomas, Playa del Inglés, and so on. So this is a very great tool. And now I will go back to the map section, and to the right of the Select Map 1 here, where we have selected our own map, there is a button, and within this button you can adjust or control the visibility of our own map. By default this is set to always visible, but you can tell Vasco da Gama to fade our own map in or out at specific zoom levels. That means that when zooming in, Vasco da Gama starts fading in your own map. This is the button where you can control it, and if at some point you don't need your map anymore, or you get a better one for that region and you would like to delete your own map and free up the space used on your hard drive, then you select the map that you want to delete here in this menu, and then you press simply remove map and delete cache, and the map will be deleted and the disk space will be free afterwards. So this is very easy and you can do it at any time. And now there's only one thing left to tell you. All of the things that we are doing here in this dialog window, in the Select Map window, is only visual. It controls how your animation will look like, but it has no influence over the functionality of your animation, of your route, of the objects, and so on. So at any time during work. You can switch to another basis map, you can turn additional informations on or off. There is no problem, you can do it at any time, at any moment. So I accept with OK, and here we are with our own imported map.